I think it's necessary because the ball is in his hands. If he was a guy that was averaging 25 and 27 because you had a point guard and other leaders on the squad that were distributing you the basketball and your job was just to put up points, that would be different. But no, he's the point forward. He's the brains behind the operation. He's the ultimate, orchestrator. And because that's the reality of the situation with any team that LeBron James on, but specifically this Los Angeles Lakers team, I don't think it's unfair to ask him to do more. It's not implying that he's not doing enough. It's not implying that he hasn't done enough. It's simply implying that with the absence of Anthony Davis, things have to change, and they can't possibly change unless LeBron James facilitates that change, whether it be continuing to get more of the right people involved, or when to insert himself and get himself even more involved, when to define or decide whether you're going to be assertive and aggressive or whether you're going to be passive at particular moments in the game, in the flow of the game. LeBron has to be the one to make that decision because he's the only one capable of making that decisions at the right moments, at the right times, and manipulating the circumstances to his extreme advantage and that of the Los Angeles Lakers. Only he can do that. Nobody else is a better option to pull that off than LeBron James. And because of that reality is why I say that he has to, it's fair to ask him to step it up and to be more aggressive and what have you, because he's the orchestrator. He's the guy that pulls all the strings. That's all I mean by that. It's certainly not to imply that he hasn't done his part already.
I don't know what more LeBron James can do. I don't know what more we can expect from him. I mean, he's given you 26 more or less, 8 and 8 with a steal, shooting almost 37% from three, taking 7 threes a game, give or take. I'm just rounding up or down depending on, where the decimal point is there with those numbers. And he's also on a team that is elite defensively. Now, a lot of that has to do with AD. But as AD said, I mentioned it earlier in the show, Stephen A., he came on First Take last year and said, I challenged LeBron to perform at the defensive end when he got to the team. LeBron's been doing that too and has been leading a team that plays great defense and great offense. I don't know what else we could ask for him at the age of 36 in his millionth year in the league. Now, I'll say this. The danger in asking LeBron to do any more at his age, given the miles on him, because he's also playing 35 minutes a game, and he's not missing games, right? Remember at first when we weren't sure what was going on with AD, Stephen A., and you were critical, like, hey, if LeBron's playing, you're playing. I know that was before we understood the extent of the inflammation and or the Achilles tendinosis, right? Yep. But still, LeBron was playing, right? Second of back-to-backs on the road. LeBron's playing. He feels the responsibility not only to the Lakers but to the league. And he's playing on both ends of the floor. And he's playing given more minutes than anyone who's ever lived who's still this level of elite. Here's the disturbing thing. His efficiency numbers are the lowest they've been. His PER is the lowest it's been since his rookie year. Hasn't been low. It hasn't been this low since his rookie year. And at a certain point, there's a limit to what you can do physically. And obviously, they need LeBron to lead this team if they hope to win a championship this year, if they hope to go back to back. But so you want him to play offense, run the offense, of course, score what more? Play defense, lead. Also, he's figuring out in AD's absence, what can my team do, right? He finds Caruso in the corner, misses the shot. Caruso misses a shot. He's criticized. Oh, why is LeBron passing the ball with the game? The guy was open, so he passed the ball, right? So he's also dealing with the most scrutiny, the most pressure, the most minutes into his career, anyone who's ever played like this before, on a defending championship team. I don't know what else he can do. It's not fair to ask for more from him. He's doing everything.
It is totally fair. And it's fair because he has the power and the ability to dictate what he can and cannot do in most situations. There's nothing wrong with demanding would be a problem because it implies he's not doing enough. But asking him if there's more that he could do, knowing that his greatness could peel something out of his hat, there's nothing wrong with asking him that, particularly with Dennis Schrader out as well. And so we've got to remember that. Your point guard is out. Rondo is no longer a part of the team. Anthony Davis is out, and you're the point forward to begin with. When the ball is in your hands, usually good things happen. You're able to keep them in the game because of the decision making. We've raved about the fact that he's a master at finding mismatches. That's what he does. He holds on to the ball, he creates and discovers mismatches, and he exploits them. This is what he does. Never is it more important with him in a Laker uniform to do it, not that Anthony Davis and Dennis Schrader are out. So I don't have a problem with
Well,
asking of it. If you demand it, it's a problem. But if you ask, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, what I'm saying is, I agree, right? Like, hey, LeBron, is there anything more he could do? I think he's already, I think this one goes to 11, right? Like Spinal Tap. Does this one, it's already it's at the highest it can go. I don't know
you say.
what more, what isn't he doing right now? He's on the ball a lot. He's defending. He's shooting the three.
I've watched
he's hooking
LeBron.
up teammates.
I've watched LeBron. There are times, Max, that, you know what, because Anthony Davis and others are on the floor, there was no need for him to be as aggressive and assertive as we've seen him be in the past. But now that Anthony Davis is going to be out and Dennis Schroeder is out, you could see LeBron get a bit more aggressive offensively. Absolutely. There's always more he could do because he can pretty much do it all. I
mean, and then there's the obvious argument, which is if they want to make a deep playoff run, again, I know like he's done it before. He's turned it on like last year, and then he's been able to perform in the playoffs better than anyone else. But every year is uncharted territory for LeBron James because no one's ever done this before. I don't know if I am a Lakers fan. As a Lakers fan, I don't want to see LeBron going all out in the middle of the season because of an AD injury, and then eventually, especially as I mentioned, those underlying efficiency numbers are the lowest they've been since he's a rookie. I mean, it indicates maybe finally some aging. I don't want him to get with all those deep playoff runs. He's in the Western Conference Finals now, puts the pedal to the metal, and there's not enough gas in the tank. I think what he discovered in Cleveland was he can't do the Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra intensity on both ends of the floor all through the season and then win the championship every year. Pick his spots.
He knows how to pick his spots particularly. Well, you could say he's doing that now, but you might be asking him to do something a little bit more until Anthony Davis returns. And the thing that I marvel at as well is that, Dennis Schroeder is out because of COVID-19 safety protocol measures, and we've had other players do that. You notice how LeBron hasn't missed a game because of that stuff? Somehow, some way, all of these guys, folks are missing games for a plethora of reasons. But the dude is 36 years of age in his 18th season, and he still is the most reliable dude, arguably, in the league. I think that